Before I conquered the mountain, I had to conquer myself. Sir Edmund Hillary. Vince Lombardi has a great quote. He says, "The harder you work, the tougher it is to surrender." Hey, this is Jay Rose from Total Dealer Training, and I want to talk to you about if you're a brand new finance specialist in buy here, pay here, or product specialist in retail. Welcome. You're in the best industry that you could ever be in, no matter what country you are right now. But I want to talk about your first 30 days, especially if you're brand new. It's so important to get off to a good start. And the best part about getting off to a good start is you don't even have to apologize for doing so well right out of the gate. And even if you're new to a new dealership, it's maybe you've been in the business for a little bit, or if you just want to just kind of reset, restart, get back to the success you had immediately and stop letting the things that kind of got in your head take away from your initial success that all of a sudden you're not doing quite so well. So number one, the first thing is you got to close yourself on the business, the opportunity. The fact that you can come to work every single day, and in the last year since the pandemic, we've had more changes in our industry with customers actually changing their perception about not only the process, but also their perceived value. I haven't seen prices this high and customers willing to pay a greater, higher margin since the 80s. So take advantage of this. Make sure that you realize they're still going to ask price questions. You still have to practice your skills on closing, overcoming objections. But the most important thing is closing yourself. On every single day, you have a great opportunity to make as much money as you can with no cap. And it's like being your own business owner within a business, except you don't have the liability and the risk that the dealer has. So number one, you have to realize that you have to have product knowledge. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you're in retail, that means where you're going to have customers actually asking specific questions about the year, make, model, miles, color, equipment, all that stuff. You have to know your inventory if you're a product specialist, and be one. Don't be a sales guy. Salespeople are perceived to be, oh, well, you're just going to try to make a deal, ask what can I do to earn your business. You don't know anything about your product. And it's pretty embarrassing when a customer can spend 2 hours on your website and know more information about your inventory than you, who's been working there 2-3 years. So know your inventory if you're in retail. If you're buy here, pay here, good news, you don't need to know your inventory. What you need to know is your program. Be able to explain to a customer in 50 seconds or less why you're different than a traditional used car buyer. You're opposite. You've been helping serve the community with quality vehicles and financing since whatever the year you started. Every one of your vehicles has been through a multi-point inspection, comes with a warranty if it does, or it comes thoroughly checked out by a master mechanic. Talk about not just your business, but also the vehicles, and then you want to talk about your financing in the sense that we deal in short-term financing. It's advanced equity. Our customers come to us when others say no, we say yes. If you have perfect credit, you shouldn't be here. Let me explain why. We're kind of like the seafood buffet on pricing compared to McDonald's. So I have lots of analogies that we provide our dealers when you come to our live workshop or you subscribe to our online training. Or if you have me in your dealership for the select dealers that I work with each month. The important thing is knowing what your program is, be able to explain who you guys are as a business, buy here, pay here, why you're different than a traditional used car dealer. In fact, you're opposite. That's why you never should use the word sales. And number three is making sure that you just make a friend, explain, financially educate the customer about the program, and if it's not for them, just tell them. But the key is bringing them through the underwriting process. If in fact they identify themselves as yes, they need help, they can't get approved somewhere, and bring them through the underwriting process. Do not pre-qualify the customer outside, without bringing them through the underwriting process. So make sure you know what your program is and your product. The other thing that's critical is Your relationship skills. What do those mean? Well, I mean, obviously you have to know how to communicate properly, effective communication, the way that you speak, your body language. If you're communicating with customers over text or email or chat, it's only worth 7% of your effectiveness to effectively persuade them, but you have to make sure you do it professionally and promptly. Not just properly, but promptly. Sending out emails or text messages or any type of digital communication where you have misspellings or they're all capitalized letters, that's an absolute disaster, and they won't trust you. So making sure that you learn how to communicate in writing properly, also making sure that your questions, asking the right questions, will give you the answers you need to then use that to help the customer into the right program and into the right financing, payment, and vehicle. But you also have to listen. Listen to the customer, what they're saying. Ask questions, listen. Ask questions, listen. Investigate. Find out if they really should be in this program, because if you skip this step, even if you deliver a car, that's going to be probably a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 charge off to the dealer. It's never going to make the term, which is usually 3 years. So your job is to protect, not be offensive and try to sell. You should be on the underwriting team trying to keep the bad customers out. And through our questioning and underwriting process, you determine whether or not, A, can they afford the program? Is this vehicle right for them and their needs, not what they want? And making sure that it's the person we're talking to, the vehicle is going to be driven by them and it's not for somebody else. So all those things are critically important. You have to develop good phone skills and writing skills and in-person skills. All that is important to be a professional, and you have to learn it in your first 30 days. It's simple. Whether you go online or learn from in-dealership training consulting or come to one of our workshops, take that 80-page book, look at it 1 page a day. It's clear, it's in clear plastic, so you can lunch and learn. Keep going back to it. That book will make you millions of dollars if you just apply it. So having the information, looking at it one time, is not going to make you an expert. It's going to make you aware. But in order to be an expert where it's second nature and you just kind of rattle it off, customer says, hey, by the way, what's your down payment? You just automatically don't even have to think about it. Say, well, that's going to depend on a few different factors, including your current situation, which we'll know within 5 to 7 minutes of completing the application, and ultimately the vehicle you select. Bam. That's how you respond to the first time they mention down payment. So, and again, we have 80 pages of how-tos in our workbooks, but the key is you got to start the process properly. Product knowledge, relationship skills, communication skills, and you have to learn how to market and network yourself. Number 3, I want to thank one of our sponsors, Neo 360 CRM. I believe it's the #1 CRM for the buy here, pay here, and subprime market. With their lead maximizer, with their predictive scoring model built in, along with automatic credit pulls from 700 Credit, texting, voice, and video, all built into one. And what I like the best is it's all on one screen. You don't need to keep going to multiple screens to get the information you need to build your business and business development. So for more information, check out the number below. So marketing and networking, all you're really doing is letting people know who you are, where you're working now, and what you do. Now, next time you see people with the holidays coming up and they're like, hey, by the way, Jay, haven't seen you in a while. You still working over at the phone place? You're like, no, actually, I'm a used car salesperson at a buy here, pay here dealership. How's that sound? Do you think it sounds like, wow, you're really proud of that? Or what about saying, well, actually, I left the telecommunications company, and I'm actually a finance specialist at an amazing finance company. It's been there since 1980, and we help customers when traditional dealerships say no. I help in the underwriting process and put together a financial fitness plan for our customers. We take care of customers that literally change their lives. They're like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. Are they hiring? See, how you describe things and the words you use can manage perception. So if you want to be hated and loathed Keep using all that sales talk we all grew up learning. Instead, use banking terminology. Use better words. And guess what? You'll be perceived differently from your family and friends. You'll be perceived differently from your customers. And you won't be afraid of letting people know what you do and how you're able to help people. So the number one thing is, if I was starting in a store, first thing I look at is orphan customers. What is an orphan customer? Well, basically, it's any customer that was delivered by a finance specialist or salesperson that is no longer working at your store. And trust me, nobody's talking to these customers. So get with your manager, have them reassign some of the customers, or start pulling jackets like I used to do, and just writing down the names and numbers and introducing yourself to customers and letting them know that you've been taking over their account. Just want to check on them, see how they're doing, their vehicle, and let them know about the referral program. And then just put them in the CRM, and now you have protection. They're your customer now. It's way easy to take a current customer who's in the program and just introduce yourself, and now you have protection to follow up with them in case they want to purchase another vehicle down the road or get referrals, because they already know who you guys are. It's not a cold call. This isn't, a really difficult thing. You just got to pick up the phone, make 20, 30 calls a day. The next thing you need to do is talk to walk-in customers. Obviously, they're a little tougher. Close about 10%, 20, depending on the scenario. It could be 30% if you have a vehicle that no one else has and lower down payments than anybody. But at the end of the day, remember, you're not selling. These are people that don't know who you are. You just need to financially educate them about your buy here, pay here, or your program. Guide them to the right vehicle and payments that they can afford, not what they want, but what they need. And you'll deliver lots of these customers, but don't just stand at a plate glass window looking outside waiting for people to walk in. Generate your own business. Treat the walk-ins as plus business. And then the other is market on social media. Like I said, some of the old school people like I grew up with, they don't know how to be on social media. Most people do. Whether it's, whether you have Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, it doesn't matter, or LinkedIn. Either way, just let people know who you are, what your program is, and how you're able to help people. We have lots of training on how to do this, how to join multiple groups in your area to let people know, so they can actually either send you referrals or upload your vehicles that they may be interested in. And then, of course, the bonus stuff is we have specific techniques that I've used since 2010 on how to get business referrals, sending them to you every single month, so you literally deliver 20 to 25 units per month without ever taking a walk-in. But that's only if you actually want this bonus material. But these techniques work, making sure that you just relax, go make a friend. I mean, there's literally step-by-step on how to bring every customer through their purchase and your underwriting process, how to handle every situation you'll ever have to deal with in your career in our training. But the main thing is, if you forget about it, just smile. Make sure you just make a friend and get help if you forget what you're supposed to do. But the important thing is create a wow experience. Wow means you're not acting, sounding like a typical car guy. And if you just start there, at least you'll be at neutral and they won't hate you and won't trust you. These techniques implemented in the first 30 days, for the dealerships I work with personally, we've had people come in and do a minimum of 22 to 29 vehicles first month, if you just follow this process. If you have any questions, give me a call. If you like this video, go ahead and click down below or forward it to any of your friends that want to start making more money, delivering more vehicles, and having fun. We'll see you in the next section. Total Dealer Training trains and coaches dealership personnel through online, in-dealership, and live workshops. We educate, motivate, and develop the skills of your team to improve results while allowing them to be the best possible versions of themselves. If you want more information about our services, visit our totaldealertraining.com website, or you can call me directly at 904-955-7666. We can customize a training solution that'll meet your dealership needs. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment so you can be notified when future videos are released.